The lights rise slowly, and before you even realize it, you're leaning closer to the screen. A small figure stands alone at the center of the stage, shoulders slightly tense, fingers gripping the microphone as if it's the only thing keeping his courage together. The crowd murmurs, the judges glance at one another, and somewhere in the silence a single thought forms in every viewer's mind: can this kid really do it? Before the first note is sung, you already feel it. This isn't just another audition. This is one of those moments you'll remember, the kind that makes you say, wait, don't skip this. And right here, before the magic begins, the boy looks up with nervous eyes and a shy smile, as if inviting you personally to stay till the end, because what's about to happen might just change his life. He introduces himself softly, a Filipino boy from a humble neighborhood where music is louder than electricity and dreams are bigger than circumstances. His voice shakes when he speaks, not because he doesn't believe in himself, but because he knows how much this moment means. He talks about growing up in a small house where old songs played on a worn-out radio, where his parents worked endlessly just to keep food on the table, and where music became his escape from worry and fear. He tells the judges that he learned to sing by copying legends, standing in front of a cracked mirror, imagining a spotlight that didn't yet exist. The audience listens quietly now. This isn't confidence, it's honesty. When the music starts, something unexpected happens. The boy closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and when he opens his mouth, the room changes. The voice that comes out of him doesn't match his age or his size. It's rich, controlled, emotional, filled with a soul that feels far older than the body carrying it. Gasps ripple through the crowd. One judge's eyebrows lift. Another leans forward, suddenly alert. The boy isn't just singing an Elvis Presley cover, he's feeling it. Every word carries weight, every note sounds lived in, as if he understands heartbreak, hope, and longing far beyond his years. As the song builds, the camera cuts to the judges. One of them smiles in disbelief, another presses a hand to their chest. The audience begins to clap softly along, afraid to break the spell but unable to hold back their emotions. The boy's confidence grows with each line. You can see it in his posture, in the way his voice steadies and then soars. This is the moment he's been practicing for in secret, the moment that lived only in his imagination for years. And now it's real. Halfway through the performance, there's a brief stumble, his voice cracks just slightly. For a split second, fear flashes across his face. This is the challenge, the wall every dreamer hits, the moment when doubt tries to take over. The crowd goes quiet again. But then he does something powerful. He doesn't stop. He doesn't apologize. He closes his eyes and pushes forward, pouring even more emotion into the next line. The crack turns into character. The fear turns into strength. And suddenly, that imperfection becomes the most beautiful part of the performance. By the final chorus, the entire room is on its feet. The boy's voice fills the space with confidence, respect, and love for the legend he's honoring, while still sounding completely his own. When the last note hangs in the air, there's a heartbeat of silence, then an explosion. Cheers, whistles, applause that doesn't seem like it will ever end. The boy stands frozen, tears welling in his eyes, hands trembling as he realizes what he's done. He didn't just sing a song. He proved something, to himself most of all. The judges stand and applaud, one of them shaking their head in pure amazement. They tell him that voices like his don't come around often, that what they heard wasn't imitation but legacy. They talk about courage, about how music can travel across generations and cultures, and how tonight, the spirit of a king truly lived on through him. The boy listens, crying openly now, thinking of his parents watching from home, thinking of every night he sang into the darkness, hoping someone, someday, would hear him. As the moment settles, the camera finds his parents in the crowd, tears streaming down their faces, pride shining brighter than any stage light. This was their dream too, a dream built from sacrifices, from belief, from love. And in that instant, you can feel it through the screen. This is why stories like this matter. This is why talent, when mixed with heart, can move millions. Before the scene fades, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because moments like this deserve to be shared. Supporting stories like his helps dreams travel even further, inspiring kids everywhere who are singing quietly in their rooms right now, wondering if their voice matters. The boy walks off the stage knowing his life won't be the same. Not because he won fame in a single night, but because he proved that dreams don't care where you come from. They only ask that you believe long enough to take the stage when your moment arrives. And as the lights dim and the applause echoes, one message stays with you: legends never truly disappear. Sometimes, they're reborn in the most unexpected voices, reminding the world that the king lives on. The crowd is restless, fingers hovering over the skip button, when the camera suddenly zooms in on a young boy standing under a blinding white spotlight. He looks almost too small for the stage, like he wandered into a dream meant for someone else. His hands shake as he adjusts the microphone, and for a split second, you think he might back out. Then he lifts his head, meets the judge's eyes, and something unspoken passes between them. "Stay," his silence seems to say. "Just stay a little longer." And in that instant, you're hooked, because you can feel it, this is about to be something special. He speaks quietly about where he comes from, a simple home in the Philippines where music filled the cracks left by hardship. He tells them how his father worked long hours, how his mother sang while cooking to keep everyone smiling, and how old songs became his best friends when life felt heavy. He says Elvis Presley was the first voice that made him believe music could carry strength and softness at the same time. The judges nod politely, but you can tell they're not prepared for what's coming next. The first note lands, and the entire room changes color. It's deep, warm, and shockingly mature. The audience reacts instantly, eyes widening, mouths opening, hands flying to faces. This isn't a child singing, this is a soul speaking through a young body. His voice moves smoothly, confidently, wrapping around every lyric with respect and feeling. The judges stop writing notes. One leans back, stunned. Another leans forward, completely locked in. As the song continues, the boy's nerves melt away. His shoulders relax, his voice grows stronger, and the stage finally feels like it belongs to him. You can see his imagination at work, he's no longer in front of judges and cameras. He's back in his room, singing to a cracked mirror, dreaming of this exact moment. The crowd sways gently, drawn into the emotion, and suddenly everyone feels connected, like they're sharing a single heartbeat. Then comes the hardest part of the song. His voice trembles just a little, and the fear returns to his eyes. This is the cliff edge, the moment where dreams either fall or fly. The room holds its breath. He grips the microphone tighter, remembers why he's here, and sings the next line with everything he has. The tremble turns into power. The fear turns into fire. And the audience erupts, cheering before the song has even ended. By the final note, people are already standing. The applause crashes over him like a wave, and he stands there, frozen, overwhelmed, tears rolling freely down his cheeks. The judges rise too, clapping, smiling, some clearly emotional. They tell him his voice is rare, that he didn't just perform a cover, he carried a legacy and made it his own. They tell him this stage will remember him. The camera cuts to his family, crying and laughing at the same time, hands clasped together in disbelief. Years of sacrifice, hope, and quiet prayers have led to this single moment. And through the screen, you feel it hit your chest. This is why talent shows still matter. This is why we watch. Because sometimes, dreams really do come true right in front of our eyes. If this performance moved you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because your support helps stories like this reach the world. Somewhere right now, another kid is singing in the dark, wondering if anyone will ever hear them. As the boy walks off the stage, he isn't just leaving with applause. He's leaving with belief, belief in himself, belief in his voice, belief that no dream is too big for where you start. And long after the lights fade and the crowd goes home, one truth remains clear and powerful: the king's spirit lives on, not in memory alone, but in brave young voices daring to sing their hearts out. The camera opens on a quiet stage, the kind of quiet that feels heavy, almost nervous. A young Filipino boy stands alone under the spotlight, feet planted carefully as if the floor might move beneath him. He swallows hard, takes a breath, and looks straight ahead. For a moment, nothing happens, but somehow that moment pulls you in. You feel it in your chest, that strange sense that if you leave now, you'll miss something important. This is one of those auditions. The kind you're supposed to watch until the very end. When he speaks, his voice is soft and respectful. He talks about home, about a small place where dreams don't come easy but music always finds a way. He shares how his family doesn't have much, but they have songs that played while cleaning, while resting, while hoping for better days. He says Elvis Presley was more than a singer to him. He was proof that music could lift you out of where you are and place you somewhere brighter, even if only for a few minutes. The judges smile politely, the crowd listens, but no one is ready. Then the music starts. The first note leaves his mouth, and the atmosphere shifts instantly. It's deep, smooth, and filled with emotion that feels impossible for someone so young. You see people in the audience lean forward without realizing it. One judge's eyes widen. Another slowly puts their pen down. This isn't a kid copying a legend, this is a kid understanding one. His voice carries confidence and vulnerability at the same time, like someone who has felt both struggle and hope. As the song flows, his nerves fade. His hands stop shaking. His voice grows fuller, stronger, more certain. He begins to own the stage, not with flashy moves, but with honesty. Every lyric sounds personal, as if he's telling his own story through someone else's song. You can almost see the memories behind his eyes, late nights, quiet rooms, practicing when no one was watching, dreaming of being heard just once. Halfway through, there's a moment of danger. His voice wavers slightly, and doubt flickers across his face. This is the point where many dreams break. The room goes still. But instead of stopping, he leans into the emotion. He sings through the fear, through the pressure, through the weight of the moment. The small crack in his voice becomes raw feeling, and suddenly the performance feels even more real. The audience reacts instantly, cheering him forward, lifting him up. By the final lines, the entire room is caught in his world. People are standing, clapping, some wiping away tears. The last note rings out, strong and steady, and when it ends, the silence lasts just long enough to hurt, then the applause explodes. The boy freezes, eyes wide, tears spilling as the sound crashes over him. He did it. Not perfectly, but honestly. And that's what made it unforgettable. The judges rise to their feet. They speak about courage, about soul, about how rare it is to hear a voice that feels timeless. They tell him he didn't just honor Elvis Presley, he brought something new, something living, something real. The boy nods through tears, barely able to breathe, thinking of his family, thinking of every sacrifice that led him here. The camera finds his parents in the crowd, hands over their mouths, crying openly. This was their dream too, carried quietly through years of struggle and belief. And watching it, you understand why moments like this matter. They remind us that talent can come from anywhere, and that hope doesn't need permission to shine. If this story touched you, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these moments travel further, inspiring others who are still waiting for their chance to be seen. As the boy leaves the stage, he walks differently than he arrived. Not because he's famous now, but because he believes in himself. And long after the lights fade and the crowd goes home, one powerful message remains: legends never truly fade. Sometimes, they return through brave young voices, reminding the world that the king lives on. The spotlight snaps on, and suddenly the noise of the crowd fades into something distant and unreal. A young Filipino boy stands alone at the center of the stage, blinking under the bright lights as if he's stepped into another world. His shoes look slightly worn, his shoulders tense, his grip on the microphone just a little too tight. He takes a breath, then another. You can feel the hesitation, the fear, the hope all tangled together. This is the moment where most people decide whether to keep watching or move on. But something about him makes you stay. Something tells you that if you leave now, you'll miss a story meant to be finished. He introduces himself quietly. His voice doesn't try to impress anyone. He talks about his home, about growing up where life is hard but hearts are strong. He shares how music was never a hobby for him, it was a companion. When problems felt too big, he sang. When the future felt unclear, he sang louder. He tells the judges that the songs of Elvis Presley made him feel brave, made him believe that even someone with nothing could leave something unforgettable behind. The judges nod, respectful but unreadable. The audience listens, calm and curious. No one yet understands what's coming. Then the music begins. The first note rises, smooth and steady, and instantly the room changes. It's not just good, it's surprising. Rich. Emotional. A voice that seems to carry stories older than the boy himself. A ripple moves through the audience as people sit up straighter, eyes widening in disbelief. One judge slowly leans forward. Another stops writing altogether. This is no imitation. This is connection. The boy isn't copying a legend, he's channeling a feeling. As the song continues, his nerves loosen their grip. His voice grows stronger, warmer, more confident. He starts to forget where he is, and that's when the magic really happens. You can see it on his face, he's back in his small room at home, singing to the walls, dreaming of a moment like this without knowing if it would ever come. The audience sways gently, caught in the emotion. Every lyric feels personal, like a piece of his own journey woven into the song. Halfway through, the pressure hits. His voice shakes just a little. The fear flashes across his eyes, quick but unmistakable. This is the challenge, the crossroads where everything could fall apart. The room goes quiet, holding its breath. And then he does the bravest thing possible, he keeps going. He doesn't hide the emotion. He lets it through. The slight crack in his voice turns into honesty, and the honesty turns into power. Cheers rise from the crowd, not loud enough to interrupt, but strong enough to carry him forward. By the final verse, the transformation is complete. He stands taller now. His voice fills the space with confidence and soul. People are already on their feet, clapping, smiling, some wiping tears without even realizing it. The last note rings out, clear and strong, and when it fades, the silence feels heavy, sacred. Then the applause explodes, rolling over him like a wave. The boy freezes, eyes wide, tears streaming freely down his face. He looks overwhelmed, almost unsure of what to do next. The judges stand, applauding, shaking their heads in disbelief. They speak about soul, about courage, about how rare it is to hear a voice that feels timeless. They tell him that tonight, he didn't just sing a song, he reminded everyone why music matters. The boy nods, unable to speak, thinking of his parents, his home, and every sacrifice that led him here. The camera cuts to his family in the crowd. His parents are crying openly now, hands clasped together, faces glowing with pride. Years of struggle, hope, and belief have led to this moment. Watching them, you feel it deep inside, this is why these stories touch us. They remind us that greatness can come from anywhere, and that dreams don't belong only to the lucky. If this performance moved you, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this travel further, reaching others who are still waiting for their chance to be seen and heard. As the boy walks off the stage, he isn't walking away with fame alone. He's walking away with proof that his voice matters, that his dreams are valid, that belief can change everything. And long after the lights fade and the applause dies down, one powerful message remains: legends never truly fade. Sometimes, they return through fearless young voices, reminding the world that the king lives on.